Mary's here. Glad you can make it. This is part 2 of Church Militant with Ezekiel chapter 1 and Revelation chapter 4, verse 6 through 8, with the vision of the cherubim. The first video I showed you, I talked about how the camping around the wilderness and the sanctuary, how there was 3 tribes on each side, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun on the east side. So, and then Judah was the captain, and they used the mascot of a lion for that side, for the east side. Mascot on the west side was the ox, the sacrifice, the man, and then the eagle on the north side. That was our history lesson. And so now we're going to go more into the verses. I'm going to read Revelation 4, verse 6 through 8 first. And we'll see if you put your eyeglasses on and see if you can see the same thing I do. Let me know when you do. Revelation 4, verse 6 through 8. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts, full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf, and the third beast had a face of a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about them, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day nor night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come. So they had 4 beasts round about the throne where God dwelt, the sanctuary in the wilderness. And their purpose is to give God the glory. Isn't that what God's church is supposed to do? And that each one had wings, 6 wings. So when you have 3 tribes, you had a pair of wings, a pair of wings, and a pair of wings. A pair of wings for each tribe. Full of eyes, I see this as God's people. Individuals, the eyes are. And they make up his church. And he knows each pairs of eyes. And he gives the eyes the understanding. In Psalms 19, verse 8. So the wings, they're full of eyes. This I see as God's networking. Part of his chain of command. His loved ones whom are following and then giving the marching orders, which are for God in his glory, saying, Holy, holy, holy. Give God the glory. This will make for a full, healthy body. Notice each beast has 6 wings. So if you have 6 wings on each side times 4 sides, you have 24 wings. Okay? Today, we have, well, not today, but we had 12 apostles. But now, in Revelation 4, there's 24 head elders for the end times. And these wings are full of eyes. So it's more than 24 pairs of eyes. They're full of eyes. They're full of you and me. I believe that in the last days that it could be possible when we look at the 2 wings, and 2 wings, that they have each pair of wings have 12,000. So 3 times 1 side, 3 times 6 is 30. Oh, it's 12,000 times 3 is 36,000 per beast. Each tribe has 12,000. Revelation 7 says that there are 12,000 sealed in each tribe. So 36 times 4 is 144,000. So it's the part of the church, of God's church, that's numbered. That's how I think, how big this study could be. These elders and beasts, not only, they have crowns on. In Revelation 4, it says, verse 4, and round about the throne were 24 seats in the crowns, and I saw the 24 elders sitting, clothed with white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. And those beasts give glory and honor and thanks, and they throw their crowns at Jesus' feet. This vision of casting our crowns is what we got to look forward to in the church triumphant. Remember, in the Greek, in Revelation, in the Greek, there's no chapter breaks. Revelation 4 verse 1 says, I will show you things which must come hereafter. Hereafter what? Revelation 3 verse 21, it says, to him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me on my throne. What comes next is the throne room scene. And they have crowns of overcoming on their heads, the crown of life in Revelation 2, verse 10. The crowns are Stephanos crowns in the Greek. They're not the diadem crown, a kingly crown. They're Stephanos crowns. And these crowns are more elaborate and conspicuous than a diadem crown. They're intricately weaved, each one different from another. I believe they're a different one from another, for they are made during our lifetime. And everyone, we have our own experiences walking with Jesus. And we are told to hold fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Let no man take your experience with Jesus from you. The wings, we are told in Ezekiel 1:24 that they touch each other. The wings were joined and touched one another, and how so true with God's church. It's part of what we do now. Don't we touch each other with our triumphs, with our failures, with our struggles? And more importantly, we're really touched when God moves among us and through us. What a great word picture. And when they went, I heard the noise of their wings, like the noise of a great waters. What are waters? Multitudes, people, nations, tongues. Can you hear them? Can you see them? It gets as the voice of the Almighty. That's what God's church is about. But we go back to the throne room scene. Read that one. Then, from early writings, a great picture of the throne room scene. Then Jesus looked upon his redeemed saints. Their countenances were radiant with glory, and as he fixed his loving eyes upon them, he said with his rich musical voice, I behold the travail of my soul and am satisfied. This rich glory is yours to enjoy eternally. Your sorrows are ended. I saw the redeemed host bow and cast their glittering crowns at the feet of Jesus. And then as his lovely hand raised them up, they touched their golden harps and filled all heaven with their rich music and songs to the Lamb. Early Writings, page 288 and 289. It's a great little book. But there is a scene there where we cast our crowns at Jesus' feet. And I used to dig all over trying to find that in the Bible. Well, I found it in two places. The obvious one, since we're looking at it, is Revelation 4, verse 9 and 10. And when those beasts gave glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth forever and ever, and the 24 elders fall down before him and sat on the throne and worshipped him that liveth forever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy. But I found it one more place, just right out there in the open. It's in John chapter 12, verse 3. It goes like this. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair. I know in Matthew 26 it is said she did this for his death, but there's a dual purpose going on when you think about it, just like in so many prophecies. A woman represents a church, and she was acting out a charade. I'm wondering if you can see it. A woman's hair is her glory. And for a covering, 1 Corinthians 11:15, think of wings. And every hair on her head and your head and my head is numbered. It's the part of the church that is numbered. She throws her glory, her hair, at Jesus' feet. So listen to this. It says in Desire of Ages, page 599, she had heard Jesus speak of his approaching death, and in her deep love and sorrow, she had longed to show him honor. At great personal sacrifice, she had purchased an alabaster box of ointment, spikenard, very costly, with which to anoint his body. But now many were declaring that he was to be crowned king. Her grief was turned to joy, and she was eager to be first in honoring her Lord. Breaking her box of ointment, she poured its contents upon the head and feet of Jesus, and then as she knelt weeping, moistening them with her tears, she wiped his feet with her long flowing hair. She did it for his crowning of kingship. In Matthew 26, verse 10, when Jesus understood it, he said unto them, Why ye trouble the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. He knew. Isn't that what we're going to do? When Jesus is crowning for his kingship, cast our crowns at his feet. And he knew. He could see it from there. Thanks for coming. Let me know if you like it.